hands. The gentleman in the green.
Thank you, Raj. In the last 3 years, I've been basically...
Excuse me, just a moment. I want to address a point here. Her husband is actually capable of expressing gratitude. He is actually able to be kind in thought and action, but is using his infirmity as an excuse for behaving badly. And in effect, for his sake and for her sake, she has to say no. And she has said no verbally, but he does not choose to honor it when he has the capacity to honor it. Okay.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you. In the last 3 years, Raj, I've been consciously downsizing my life. I've sold my house. I've been practicing getting out of my own way.
It sounds to me like you're downsizing the distractions to your life.
Fair enough. And I have been working at allowing thy will to be done. And I was wondering if you had any observations, comments, cautions for me at this point, and could see perhaps areas that I need to be focusing on in this process, for lack of a better word.
No? Just pay attention to what's in your face. The things that are in your face that you didn't manipulate into your face. The things that are in your face that life is presenting. Because I'll tell you something, what life presents you are the easiest opportunities to remember God with. The things everyone manipulates into their lives are the things that make it most difficult to remember God. You are like a person in a boat on a river, a rowboat. And you've been throwing overboard things that you've accumulated in your boat, things that made it heavier, less flexible, less movable. And you've been throwing them out. And you're getting close to the point where what's left to throw out are the oars. I'm just going to clue you into the fact that when you throw the oars overboard, you have nothing left to do but pay attention to the scenery, which is a wonderful way to remember God. And it's the easiest thing to remember God when you finally don't have any capacity to control things yourself any longer. I'm just going to say, keep up the good work. Fulfillment is the nature of being when you aren't attempting to be in charge. It's God's gift to you. God never said you have to go out and earn your fulfillment by the sweat of your brow and your ability to think. Keep up the good work. Hands. In the colored blouse here in the second row. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj.
You are welcome.
First, I would like to take this chance to express my deepest gratitude for divine guidance all through my lifetime. As I reflect back even to childhood, there were those moments when I was aware that there was something other helping me, directing me. In about 2 years ago, I recognized, however, a pattern in my life that I would now like to change. And it is indeed getting lesser and easier. But the pattern is that when it was time for change, I seemed to have the situation get so horrible before I had permission to leave it.
Before you give yourself permission.
Yes, yes, yes. And there was that, I don't know what the cause of that is within me. As I say, those periods are getting shorter now, but I just have experienced, I'm in the process now of making a move in where I live. And I see how all the benefits that are going to be there, but it took another explosion to blast me loose to where I could see that, where I could understand. I was prepared to stay and suffer through in my small little apartment, and now I'm getting a larger one for less money. And what can I do to recognize that and honor myself enough to make those changes before it all has to be so awful?
I want you to write this phrase down on a piece of paper and put it on your refrigerator. I deserve fulfillment for no good reason. You simply do deserve it. It's your birthright. You don't have to earn it by suffering first. Good has a bad rap, you know.
Yes.
They say if it tastes good, it must, or if it's good, it must be either illegal, immoral, or fattening.
Exactly. Yes.
Good has a bad rap. Take it when it's first offered. Take it when it first comes to you. Say okay, rather than waiting till it's so miserable that you say you don't have any choice. What makes you think when fulfillment or your good presents itself to you in the beginning? What makes you think you really have a choice there? You say by your actions that when your good is presented to you, when the opportunity for it is presented to you, and you've done nothing to earn it, that you must go through a process to become worthy of it. Who gave you that choice?
Me.
It really is much easier to be happy all the time. It really is much easier to be happy all the time. And all of you would be happier more of the time if you would say yes to the good that presents itself to you instead of saying, oh, I'm too old to change and let it in. Or I've got important problems that I've got to get taken care of. And then I'll let it in. These other things are more important. Mm-hmm. At this moment, every single one of you is right smack dab in the middle of the kingdom of heaven, nowhere else. The fullness of the kingdom of heaven is the gift that is given to you. It's your birthright, and you're all saying, well, I haven't earned my way in yet. My soul has a little more growing to do, a little more refining. My psychic told me so. My mother made it very clear when I was a little girl that it was so. And so you let it in slow. But the gift is freely made, and it's sitting in front of you every moment to simply say yes to. Well, you know, I got to work on this problem of why I'm so slow in saying yes. Then I'll say yes. I know it has some deep psychological root, and if I don't get that dug out, then if I say yes, I'll probably lose it, because I got to get this worked out first, you see. It's asinine. It's a ridiculous distraction from waking up. So don't ask me why you take so long to say yes. Just say yes. Just begin to say yes. Risk the chance that you won't be struck down by God by saying yes.
Okay.
And the angels will sing in joy with you.
You finally got it, huh? Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
May I add on a second question that may be answered quickly? Since beginning the study of the Course, I have very much recognized the idea that life is simply remembering, if I have gotten this correctly.
If you have forgotten, then life is a matter of remembering. Once you've remembered, then life is a matter of paying attention. Just paying attention to reality, to creation. Anyway.
Okay. Well, it seems as though my life is a matter right now of review, and for the last few years, consciously review and release.
Well, just don't get in the habit of reviewing.
Well,
I'm just saying, you may have noticed that this is what it has been. But be flexible enough to let it be over when it's over.
yes. Well, there seem to have been these chapters that have been captured all of my interest and energy, and I've focused on that, and okay, that's going to be my life. That's what my life is going to be about. And then suddenly there's, not painfully, but just it's over. I've closed that page in the book, and now it's on to another area of interest, and then everything goes into that. And there's not a sense...
I'm going to put it this way. I'd rather not have you think in terms of chapters and books as though it is set out in that format. As each of you left home, your process of forgetting reality involved the adoption of this belief and that belief and this conclusion and that assumption, followed by figuring out that ended up with another decision. And as you've gotten further away from home, all of these misapprehensions and poor decisions have accumulated into a denseness of mind that causes you not to be able to see reality for what it is right here where you are. As I mentioned the last time we were together, waking up is retracing your steps. Because at each place where you made a poor decision or a false assumption that you became convinced of, you buried the truth relative to that assumption right there on your path. So you must come home on the same path, and on the way you have to uncover the truth that you buried there so that you can feel it and experience it as your nature again. So indeed it would seem as though there's some order to it. But the reason I'm saying not to use chapter and verse and book is because you usually think somebody else wrote the book. You're simply coming to those places where you buried a little bit of truth out of sight and therefore out of mind, so that it may be rediscovered and experienced once again as your nature.
Okay, that's really what I was wondering. It's as if I were revisiting a time of life, a form of expression that perhaps for some reason from another life, if you will, that I'm revisiting in order to perhaps make correction or to further learn the lesson.
To reincorporate an ignorance that you had embodied, something that you had chosen to become ignorant of. Uncovering it so that you're no longer ignorant of it and experiencing yourself more fully. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Now, I just don't want you to get hung up in a process and try to hold on to a process of review, whatever you are thinking of when you use that word review.
Well, I'm definitely ready to give up that process. It's getting very old.
You will not avoid uncovering further and further jewels of truth that were part of yourself that you hid. You're on the way home. So keep saying yes to the forward movement, the retracing of the steps. Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. We will take a break. Okay. Hands. The gentleman in the back there with the mustache.
Raj, I'm aware of a pattern that I'm seeing myself alternately running and thinking I've broken. It has to do with the fact that I spent a good portion of my children's life as a single parent, taking on the responsibility of mom and dad. They're all adult children now, adults. Youngest just turned 37 with children, so I have about 10 grandchildren. And what I'm noticing is that I keep falling back into this sense of having to be involved in their lives and, in a sense, still playing out the father role, parenting, and I see a lot of it inappropriate in some senses. It's I feel like it's at one level I'm justifying it as being caring and compassionate, which a lot of the times it seems like that's what I'm doing. And other times I'm just seeing that the futility in my thinking I know what's best. I mean, part of me knows that I don't, and many times don't know what's best for me, let alone them. And but I seem to use this pattern as a barrier to me, in a sense, seeing myself getting on with my life, independent from what's going on in their life. And
independent from the role you have conceived, actually created for yourself.
Exactly. Yes.
You are experiencing what I will call it the mother half of parenting. Where being mother is what gives one's definition to one's life. And then when the kids grow up and leave, she wonders, well, who am I now? It's a wonderful place to be, although most women who experience it don't see it that way. It's wonderful because it's the opportunity for them to become free of a role which they have given themselves so that they might discover who they are. I would wager to say that when you do this overextended parenting, it isn't always well received.
No, I don't think that ever happens.
Get a life, Dad.
Wow, thanks. I'm just waiting for permission.
That is my profound answer to you. Who are you? I'm not going to answer the question. That's in you for you to discover. But I give you permission to go ahead and explore. And your children do too. Oh, but that's a little bit more of my good than I'm willing to accept right now. I have a few things to work on first. No, you don't. You don't have a big problem, and you don't need a deep answer. You just need a real practical one. You write a note and put it on your refrigerator. Get a life, Dad. Just to remind yourself that it's your right to be engaged in exploring the possibilities of that which is meaningful to you. Not so that you can be a better dad, but so that you can have a more enjoyable experience of being yourself. It's time to nurture yourself. Real simple.
Yes, thanks. Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome. Hands? I'm just going to mention that many people who listen to the tapes, and one in particular, have never understood what I was saying when I said hands. And they thought I was saying a person's name, Hans, but hands. And they always wondered, whose hands? Right here in the front, if you'll stand up so that they can see where to bring the mic. Just a moment. Trish, how are we doing? 16? Thank you. Okay.
I've been experiencing more and more peace recently. And I'm more and more clear that what happens is not up to me. But I have two questions. One is that although I experience this peace, I'm aware that my life is less and less peopled. And so I wonder if I'm listening and what I'm missing.
You're not missing anything except the irrelevant. The irrelevant. In other words, irrelevant people are not in your life. You are not becoming like an ostrich with her head in the sand. You are not withdrawing. It is just that only those things which are particularly meaningful or fulfill purpose are knocking at your door, so to speak.
I won't yes but you, but I'll listen to that.